November 2025, God was speaking to me heavily. Almost a year of not being on social media, I was content. I did not want to post nothing, bro. I did not want to worry about doom scrolling and wasting my time and seeing what other people were up to. I truly did not care. At that time, I've been off of social media, off Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all that stuff since February. So from February to November. But God just put a deep unction in my heart to get back on it. And the way he did it was crazy. You see, he showed me my calling. He kept continuously telling me, evangelize, preach my word, lead many to my kingdom. All this good stuff, right? All this good stuff. And when he would speak these things to me, he would speak through people and also just to my heart, like just speak it to my heart. And when he would tell me these things, I was like, Lord, how do you want me to do this? What do you want me to do? I know what you're calling me to do, but how do you want me to walk it out? And he gave me this word: confirm your calling. Confirm your calling. And what that looks like for me is picking up this camera and using it to preach his word and to evangelize and to lead many to his kingdom. But your calling is different. You see, in many instances in the Bible, we see great men and women of God having to confirm the call that God has placed upon their lives. We all know the story of David, right? The lowliest of his brothers. He was tending to his flock when Samuel came to anoint him. You see, this humble young shepherd boy had no idea the calling that was upon his life. But God sent a willing vessel, Samuel, to go and tell him what he was called to do. But after he anointed him, right? If we look in 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 13, it says, "So Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the presence of his brothers. And from that day on, the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon David. Samuel then went to Ramah." After he was anointed, Samuel left. Samuel's job was done. The prophet's job was done. The prophetic word was already spoken to David. But now it's up for David to live it out. You see, one thing I learned about prophecy, my pastor actually said this. He said that prophecy isn't a promise. Prophecy is a call to obedience. You'll only see the prophecy fulfilled if you walk on the path according to it. See, many of you watching this, you know the calling that God has upon your life, but you're not confirming it yourself. Let's look at how David confirmed his calling. See, David, he went back to tending the sheep in the pasture and was still worshiping the Lord, completing the assignment that God had already called him to do. Next, God gave him another assignment, playing that same harp that he used in the last assignment, just worshiping unto God. Now he was worshiping God for Saul, who was having these crazy outbursts and demons tormenting him, and the only thing that could calm him down was hearing the sweet worship music that David would play unto the Lord. 1 Samuel 16 chapter 23 says, "Whenever the Spirit from God came on Saul, David would take up his lyre and play. Then relief would come to Saul. He would feel better, and the evil spirit would leave him." David must have been real good at playing that harp, man. You see, David was playing the lyre for the king that was already ruling over Israel, the guy who was enthroned in the throne that was promised to David. That must have been weird. I mean, if God called me to be king, right? Then out of nowhere, I'm going to the palace to play the harp for the king that's already in place, seeing him face to face, knowing that I'm going to be the next king. I don't know how I would react. But what David did was just be obedient. He knew, all right, this is my assignment. I gotta help the king out. Now is not my time. But what I'm gonna do is walk obedient to the calling that God has upon my life. And eventually I'm gonna get there. And we see it. In the next chapter, we see David go up against Goliath. When everyone else in Israel was down and lowly, thinking that, we can't defeat this giant. He's too big, he's too scary. Let's just tuck our tails and run. Nah, David stood up. And this is what David said. Let's look. 1 Samuel 17, verse 45. David said to the Philistine, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I will strike you down and cut off your head. This very day I will give the carcasses of the Philistine army to the birds and the wild animals, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. All those gathered here will know that it is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into our hands. And what did David do after he said all that? He killed Goliath. I just find it so beautiful how David trusted God, right? David knew his calling. David knew he was going to be king one day, and a giant in his way was not going to stop that. There's nothing too big for the Lord. There's nothing that can come in the way of the Lord's plan for your life. Hallelujah. Nothing can stop the calling that God has placed upon your life but yourself. But you gotta rise to the occasion and have faith that the Lord will get you through, just as David did. And we see David go on to become the great and mighty king that the Lord called him to be when he was just a young boy. What has God called you to do? I really hope and pray that you have the faith that David had going up against Goliath to go and confirm your calling. Peace.